Hey guys, I was looking for a comparison between these two brands of pool filter sand online to decide which one I wanted to go with for my new 125. What I didn't want to do is put 200 or 250 pounds worth of substrate into a tank and then end up hating it and having to take it back out. So from the research I did, these are the most easy to find locally. They're pretty comparable in price. Both of these are available like Ace Hardware. This one runs about $14 a bag. This one is available at Ace and at Home Depot for about $10 a bag. You can order this one at Home Depot, but it's more like $20, and other retailers online I've seen it go anywhere up to $30 or $50 a bag, which I have no idea why, because I called HTH and I inquired about the different SKU numbers, different packaging. Was there any difference in the sand itself? And they said absolutely not. The different SKU numbers and different packaging strictly has to do with which retailer they are selling it to. So what we're going to do here is take these out. I'm going to compare the color of them, the thickness or the texture of the grains. Wash them out, see which one's wash cleaner, and ultimately I'm just looking for the whitest sand that I can get for the bottom for the best price. So the first thing I decided to do was just take both bags, pour it into a glass. The Quikrete was already damp before I even washed it out. So at first I was thinking that maybe that was how they stored it at the hardware store, sort of out under a lean-to. But then I realized they most likely had just pre-washed it at the factory. And the HTH was bone dry. The HTH had a little bit more of a granule texture to it, and it was definitely whiter, but I wanted to let the Quikrete dry out so I could give them a fair comparison just to see how they look straight out of the bag. So I let that sit overnight, I let it dry up, and basically came back the next day, found the same thing. The HTH is just a whiter, more granule sand, and the Quikrete a little bit of a brownish or off-white tint to it. I'm actually boring myself right now. Quick reality check. I'm 38 years old and I'm making a video about sand. He doesn't give a shit either. Okay, so I sped this up because no one really wants to watch it. And also, I apologize when I get over the Home Depot bucket. I definitely am bent over right in front of the camera with my ass in your face, and I wasn't filming it again. Anyways, I washed both of these out 3 times. Obviously, HTH in the Lowe's buckets on the left, Quikrete in the Home Depot buckets on the right, and my ass in your face. I washed them both out 3 times, and it was getting kind of dark out when I was doing it, so I was having a hard time telling if one was coming cleaner quicker than the other. But at the end of the day, I think it was about the same. After I washed the sand out 3 times, I decided to put each product on a separate towel and just see if one was dirtier than the other, either the sand or the water that came out, but it really didn't make much difference. Now it's probably a good time to mention that if you wash your sand out, I would definitely recommend getting one of the masonry bits. It's like an auger that you can put on the end of a drill to help clean your sand out. I just lost mine, so I had to use a wooden spoon. I also left some of the dirty sand water in the buckets to just do a comparison to see if one was cleaner than the other, and there was no real definitive difference. So basically at this point, I'm getting tired of doing my experiments because I've already come to the conclusion that one of the brands does not wash out any quicker than the other brand. So what's going on here? Basically, I needed a break from sand for the day or two, and it turned into 3 months. The buckets sat outside, and where I live in Pennsylvania, they got frozen, and I had to bring them in and basically rewash everything in my bathtub in my bathroom, so that made a huge mess. I guess that's what I get for being a procrastinator. But in the meantime, I had done some more research, and I decided that I wanted to try to add in some crushed coral, and also I wanted to add in some of the cichlid aragonite sand. So they are both about the same price, $14, $15 or so. And the crushed coral is 15 pounds in a bag, and the African cichlid aquarium substrate, the aragonite, is 20 pounds. So it's a little bit better of a deal. The one thing that's great about both of these is they wash out way, way easier than either of those brands of the pool filter sand. So that was great. So here it is, the sort of almost finished product. The tank needs work, it needs more fish, needs aquascaping, rocks, all that kind of stuff, but this video is about sand. So I went with the HTH. It was whiter, it was cheaper, and that's just what I went with. The Quikrete was just more of a brown sand, and I didn't like the way that it looked. Obviously, I added the crushed coral that you can see here, and I did add the aragonite, 1 bag of it, and all together it was 3 bags, 3 50-pound bags of the pool filter sand, and then the 2 bags of the other sand I mentioned, and way more than enough. Probably could have used less than that. But in addition to that, if you're looking for a black background that you'd like to install, I'll post a link below. This is from Amazon, super easy to install. Inexpensive, comes off easy if you decide you want to change it. So like I said, I'll post that below. And up next, I'm going to have a video on under cabinet lighting. LED strips that when you open the door, they work off an occupancy sensor, so they'll turn on. You shut the door, they'll turn off. Pretty basic, but it definitely makes seeing all the stuff you have going on your stand underneath a lot brighter. Other than that, I'm tired of talking. I have nothing else to say. So see you later.